I've met, but he just intimidated the fuck out of some asshole and made him leave the building. So give a good round of applause for Scott Clow!
Jesus, he's short. Come on now. Keep me going for Brett Klein. Y'all having a good time tonight? Let me hear it from you. Come on, make some noise. Come on, it's Wednesday night. You're out drinking. There's no better reason to... Yay! Incoherent sentences. That is what your date is eventually going to hear that this evening, and after 4 times you go, he's going to go, yeah. Oh man, my name is Scott Clow, and I like fruit in my beer. Now there are people of a certain age who understand a good garnish in a beer or in a drink. Because there's a point. There's this table over here. I know you guys stay away from fruit in your beer. You use beer as a means to an end. You have a goal in mind when you're drinking your beer. When you're in college. Everybody drink in college? Round of applause. Anybody drinking college? I have a stepson. He's 22 years old. I have a refrigerator in which I keep my beer. For those of you who like fruit in your beer, you know that's where you keep your Leinenkugels, your Blue Moons, your Fat Tires. It's good beer. You want to go to that beer after you've had a stressful day. My stepson drinks my beer. We had a little conversation. I went to my fridge. I opened the door. My beer was gone. Went and I sat down very calmly next to my stepson, and I said, "You are going to replace that beer, aren't you?" He said it a little more nicely than that, because he's a fucking Marine. He was more like, "All my beer is gone, sir. I would like some more. Will you please replace it? If it is not too much trouble." Because he knows how to kill me in 4 different languages. That's what they do in the Marines. So he did replace it with what I refer to as remedial beer. I say remedial beer because this is advanced beer. I'll tell you why. Because I can hold on to this particular glass of beer, and by simply touching it, I can tell you whether or not it is cold. His beer, in order to figure out whether or not it's cold, he has to wait till the mountains turn blue. And you can watch him. He will put the beer in the refrigerator, and he will go out every 15 minutes. And I got a little mini fridge I keep outside. He's out there going. It's light blue. I have to wait till it's dark blue. It's a cold beer indicator. When I grew up, we did not have a cold beer indicator. We drank warm beer. Eventually, after 2 beers, I don't give a shit if it was cold at 22 years old. At 22 years old, I could drink until 5 a.m. And by 1, you could be in the middle of a conversation, 22 years old, middle of a conversation, you got 12 people around you. You can pull this off when you're between 18 and 22. You can be there and you get that little twinge in your jaw. You know what I'm talking about? You call it puke jaw. You get that little twinge right there. You could just be talking to your friends. Yeah. The Spartans did very well. Excuse me. nobody in the circle reacts. I'm 37 years old. I try and pull that shit now. I'm going to the emergency room whether I like it or not. I get the flu and I start puking, my fucking day is over. 22, I could puke at 1 a.m. At 5 a.m., I'm running a fucking marathon. It doesn't matter. But so much has changed since I've gotten older. I've got a 22-year-old stepson, I got a 20-year-old stepdaughter, and then I have an 8 and a 9-year-old at home. That are my kids, and they're wonderful kids, fantastic kids. I'm glad they're 8 and 9 now because we've gotten beyond that whole child-proofing the house shit. We didn't do that when we were kids. Anybody remember riding in the front seat of your dad's pickup truck?
Yeah.
You remember that? I used to ride in the front seat of my dad's pickup truck with a dum-dum pop in my mouth. No seatbelt. If I pissed him off, he'd slam on the brakes. This is what we called a timeout. And he'd be up there Halloween. Halloween, we'd all hop in the back of the pickup truck. He'd be up there with what he called a roadie. My sister's right here, she remembers this shit. We'd be going 35 miles an hour. He'd look at his buddy, go, watch this shit. Slam on the brakes, all of us. We're gonna do that again. Candy's flying in through that fucking slider. They're eating Tootsie Rolls and drinking vodka. It was awesome. But we are way too safety conscious now. I mean, think about, none of you over here remember this shit, I'll tell you that right now. What was the main feature of like a playground for us growing up, for this group over here? Just go ahead and shout it out.
Merry-go-round.
Merry-go-round. Who said the slide? You said the slide? Do you remember that slide? That 750-foot tall aluminum slide? Well, that fucker heated up to like 9,000 degrees Kelvin in the middle of summer. You go down that wearing shorts? You got pedophiles from around the neighborhood suddenly going, it's time to warm up the van. But our parents didn't give a shit about our safety with that slide. They had no safety precaution. There was one safety precaution on the slide. You remember what it was? It's a 2-inch lip on the side. That was it. They didn't give a shit. They're like, don't waste the aluminum. These fuckers can find their way down. And what did they put at the top of the slide?
Bar.
A bar! At waist level! To encourage you to do a flip before you plummeted to your death. And when we got down to the bottom of the slide, what was there? Gravel. I grew up in fucking Jackson. It was jagged rocks, broken glass, and hypodermic needles. You go home looking like a pincushion. Dad look at you going, you have fun? Yep, got herpes, Dad. Another inoculation for me. Oh, but now you look at the kids, and what do they land in now?
Like cushion ground.
Cushion, yeah, fucking.
Ground
It's wood chips. Wood chips. And these aren't any normal wood chips. These are hypoallergenic, dye-free wood chips. So that if a child were to pick one up and eat it, he will not get sick and die. In my neighborhood, if you pick something up off the ground, you put it in your mouth, and you ate it, and you got sick and died, we call that natural selection. We're weak idiots. If you survived, we said, you know what, you can be a greeter at Walmart. And that's where he is today. Oh. I am remarried, for those of you that were paying attention. I didn't realize how much I missed a woman in the house. I was single for 2 years, and in my shower, I had a bar of soap. That was it. Now that I'm married, and I counted this morning, my stepson is actually here tonight, he can verify this, we have 15 bottles of fucking shit in our shower. I don't know if she's cleaning herself or running a Jiffy Lube out of there. But there is one thing that I didn't realize I missed until I found it again. Ladies, for those of you that are married or who live with a man, have you ever wondered why your shampoo outlasts your conditioner? It's going to be a long ride home tonight, gentlemen. My name is Scott Clow. Thank you very much. Appreciate you filling out your comment cards. The next guy up just celebrated last week his 2nd anniversary here in the world of comedy. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Pat Seaver.